moving on to the big ticket for the big Celtics. We could use another big ticket. I think that's what this team needs, to be honest. I mean, what do you think?
I would take the big ticket at his age right now, Kevin Garnett, because that's exactly who they need. Somebody who's tough. The Celtics, I hate to say, I love the Celtics. I love Jaylen Brown. I love Jason Tatum. Kemba Walker seems like an awesome guy. And he was a good player. He just doesn't look right now. I don't know. He says he's healthy. I'm not sure. They're soft. And I'm not trying to insult them. It's just that's how they play. They play finesse. They don't have, I know Marcus Smart's supposed to be the gritty player, and I get it. He is. He's tough. He was out for a while. He's still trying to figure it out, and he launches threes constantly. We talk about that all day. They need toughness on this team. So, the Orlando deal to get Aaron Gordon and Evan Fournier's out there. The John Collins deal to Atlanta is out there. If they could do it, I don't think this would happen because I don't think Toronto would do it. Toronto wants to trade Kyle Lowry. I would love to see Kyle. As much as I hate watching him against the Celtics, I would love to see him be the point guard for the Celtics. He's basically Marcus Smart, but a better shooter and a better point guard. He takes charges. He does all the kind of like things that piss off the other team. And he's a good defender. He's won playoff games. He's won an NBA title. And I think as much as I love Tatum and Brown, they need somebody to kind of get in their face and be like, you're not as good as you think you are right now. You guys are going to be superstars, but you're not there yet. So I'm going to tell you what it means to be a star, what it means to win a title, and then we'll see how good you get, because I think that's what they need. As good a guys as they are, they need somebody to kick them in the ass. And hopefully, I don't know if they're going to do that, though, this year. The other thing with Lowry is that he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. So you're getting a rental for half the year. So what are you giving up? Picks I don't think are a big deal. But if you have to use the trade exception, then I don't think they're going to do it because that only gives you half a season of a guy. So depending on what you can send out to Toronto, if you can get back Kyle Lowry without using the trade player exception, then I think that would be a great move for the Celtics.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's one of those things when I saw Kyle Lowry was on the market, I was shocked, to be honest. So I think it was one of those things where Toronto is going full rebuild mode at this point, looking to shop arguably their best player. And it's, what do they want in return for Lowry? Because I think that would be a player that could definitely change the Celtics team going forward, even this season on a short-term basis. But if you could lock him up for a couple more years, I think that could definitely help the franchise because, unfortunately, as much as I love Cardiac Kemba, he just hasn't been Cardiac Kemba. And I'm still open for him to show up, but it just hasn't been there. And I agree with you that Tatum and Brown are just too young right now, too inexperienced still to be able to just carry an NBA franchise and to be able to show up like a LeBron James every night and win games. So it's just one of those things where they definitely need some additional help. Kyle Lowry would be huge, great locker room guy, great attitude, could come in, like you said, push these other two guys, give scoring, give defense. I think that would be a great pick. And then the other guy that I'm hearing out there, which I've always said the Celtics need a big man, they need somebody down low, is if Andre Drummond gets released. I know he's not the Andre Drummond of old, but we're talking about a forced. You want to see tough? Andre Drummond will give you tough in the middle. He will shut down the center. He will rebound. He'll play defense, and he can give you some points down low. I mean, we're still talking about one of the biggest, strongest centers in the league. So I wouldn't mind. I think Andre Drummond or Kyle Lowry would be great additions to this team if you can get it for the right price. Like you said, I don't mind shipping out draft picks because draft picks are always unproven. You never know what you're going to get. So I'm always down to ship out a draft pick for a proven NBA player, and both of those guys are proven.
Right. And, if the Celtics do make a move and they move those picks and get one of those guys, they're going to make the playoffs. So it's not going to be a lottery pick. Even if it's 2 years down the road, just put some protection on it. That's what teams do all the time. And, with Tatum and Brown, as long as they're healthy, they're going to be a playoff caliber team. So I think that makes total sense. I'd love Drummond, too. I think he'd give them some rebounding and shot blocking. The only problem with Drummond is that you could probably never play him with Robert Williams. I think that's the toughest part, is that those guys just can't play together. So, if it's a buyout type of thing, I don't know how that would work with their salary cap, but depending on what they would be able to sign him for, maybe they even do a sign and trade and figure that out that way. But that's the only kind of tough part about that, is that you can't play those guys together. So Celtics have a lot of options. I think they can make a move. They might not make a move because a move might not be out there for them to. There might not be a move to be had. So we'll see what happens with by tomorrow is when the trade deadline is. So it's going to happen quickly.